Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I realize that the media narrative has painted Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in quite a negative light ever since he became more and more renowned for his work on vaccines. And this video will have basically nothing to do with his stance on vaccines, except to say this. He clearly is a very well-researched man. He's an environmental lawyer with decades of experience, and I've read what he has read about the Real Dr. Anthony Fauci book. I thought it was fascinating. He sure has a lot of doctors who are on his side. So it's not as if he's this wild, crazy person who doesn't know what he's talking about. People may agree or disagree, and for all I know, he could be wrong. He is well-researched. He sure did take his time to make his case. And just like he made his case well about vaccines, I would like the opportunity to make a strong case why he should be president. The most important reason, I think, is because out of the main four candidates, Biden, Trump, DeSantis, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I think he is the only one who seems to be trying to unite people. He's running as a Democrat, and it seems like Republicans like him almost more than most quote-unquote mainstream Democrats. That should tell you something. If he were ever on a debate stage with Joe Biden, it would be fascinating to watch. So if it seems like Biden keeps stalling and never wants a debate, that should tell you something. Now, I'm not here to bash Biden or Trump or DeSantis. A lot of people do that all over the internet. I'm here to promote Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because I really believe in his message. And I can't deny a lot of people in my family are Kennedy Democrats from way back, and it does bring this positive energy that let's all get together, and no matter where you come from, if you're rich, poor, coming from another country, old, young, anything, we're all in this together as humans, but specifically as far as the election is concerned, as Americans. Now, his father also ran against an incumbent Democratic president, Lyndon Johnson. He was very entrenched in Washington, and he was a real insider, similar to Joe Biden. Now, a lot of people look at that as a positive because they know their way around. I look at that as a negative because I like to see fresh new blood. And I know Mr. Kennedy is 69 years old, so the argument that, oh, Biden is too old, well, 80 compared to late 60s is quite a difference, but no one's trying to pretend that Robert F. Kennedy is young the way his father or his uncle JFK were when they were running for president. We're not saying he's a young man, yet he does seem fit compared to the other people involved. I know DeSantis is younger, but compared to Trump or Biden. Now, some people mention that he has a bit of a different voice. I find his voice fascinating. I've literally listened to him talk for hours on end, and I find his voice is calm, and after a few minutes of getting used to it, I enjoy listening to him speak. And I know this might seem like a shallow or superficial reason to like him, but the fact that he's married to Cheryl Hines just adds almost a surrealist element, because I can remember on SNL, Larry David, for those who don't know, Cheryl Hines plays the fictional wife, actually ex-wife now, of Larry David on the famous show Curb Your Enthusiasm. And Larry David portrays in a comedic way Bernie Sanders. So it's just kind of funny how all worlds kind of merge. But the Kennedy name in itself has lost a little of prestige, and I'm not pretending Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a perfect man or a perfect candidate. You know, I don't have to go into things of his past, but you know, the internet's right there. You can do your own research. Another fascinating note is he has a young son who is, I believe, 26 years old, and his son quit law school temporarily quit law school without even telling his parents to go volunteer to join the Ukrainian army to fight in the Ukraine-Russia war. Now, whether people think that's a good idea or not is one thing, but one thing you can't deny is that sure shows bravery. And Robert F. Kennedy and many people in his family are very entrenched East Coast elite who seem to genuinely have their heart in the right place to want to make America a better place. A lot of people might say, are you really that silly that you really think the Kennedys don't have something in it for themselves? I'm just saying, relative to other candidates, yes, I think would his life be 10 times easier if he just wasn't in the public eye, getting all these slings and arrows thrown at him? Of course. I almost look at him as paradoxically similar to Trump in that, oh, I'm a real insider and I've lived this privileged insider life of the elite East Coast and it's not as good as it seems, and I'm here to tell you all the things wrong with it. And I love hearing things like that because I'm thinking, it kind of reassures my own thoughts that things aren't always quite what they seem, and if there's things to expose and bring public, great. The more transparent, the better. I have two rules about government. It's better when it's transparent, and it's better when it's smaller. And he appears to agree with those two important traits. So, just in closing, I'd like to again say, people, vote whoever you want. Don't take my word for anything. Do your own research, whether you vote, whether you don't vote, whether you're American, whether you're not American. I think that challenging an incumbent Democrat, or if it were to be an incumbent Republican, it's always a good sign to challenge the authorities and say, we think we can do better. And if you think Joe Biden is the best person in America to be president, very well. I'm not here to say you're right or wrong. I'm here to say, I think he's not, and I think Robert F. Kennedy is, and I think the mystique of the Kennedy name is back, and the best is yet to come. If you disagree, feel free in the comments. RFK says most of all that he's a free speech absolutist, as am I, and I'd like to hear some of your speech, whether you agree or disagree, in the comments below. Thanks again, and my name is John Victor. I almost exclusively do history videos. As you can see, my channel is History for Critical Thinkers, but since there's such a historical bent to this, and I'm so excited about Mr. Kennedy's candidacy, I thought I'd, instead of talking about medieval and biblical era topics, kind of modernize a bit temporarily to help him get the exposure that I think he rightfully deserves. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.